Good morning.
Yeah.
Dashboards. It's a very important in a digital organization. So this webinar is basically we are targeting manufacturing SME. We are really we done a lot of work to promote this. Basically our team is last 2 weeks done great work reaching out to the target audience. And IPQC is a basically consulting organization. We provide a consulting services in various areas, including productivity improvement, quality improvement, supply chain related. And we are a group of consultants across the country. We do the basically work in respective areas. And we also having a digital platform that is called basically MSME online. We support MSMEs through our digital platform, and we also focus on digital marketing. So with this brief introduction, I just want our our guest speaker today, Mr. Vijay Kumar. He is CEO of DigiDext. He has proven seasonal expert on digital transformation. They are actually positioning their entity in a digital transformation area, domain area. They are in AI and data sciences, and well established. They are growing a startup company, growing very aggressively in a recent past. And we see a lot of things when they did last time one seminar with us, webinar. Very nice response we got, and all credit goes to the DigiDex team. A fantastic work is done by the, especially under Mr. Vijay Kumar. They have done a great job. And this is the second series, dashboards. They found this is very useful for the in industry. Dashboards, I see dashboards requirement in manufacturing in any organization, because if they want to take a decision, they need to be on a real time basis. They need to see the numbers. Numbers drives everything in a digital organization. So having a real time database, real time numbers on digital dashboards makes a lot of sense for decision makers. At the same time, many employees also, they know the thing. When I was in Tata Motors, they used to display on the simple number board every day, the production numbers, absentee rate, and many things every day. That was almost 20 years back. Now in a digital environment, you can get the real time information every minute, every second. You can get the updates. So well informed means you are well prepared. Well prepared means you are foreseeing the things. So once you are foreseeing the things means you are ready to perform up to the mark. So your productivity goes up, your profitability goes up, your all connected information, seamless organization. You need to share the information continuous basis. Dashboards plays a very important role, especially in lean environment. These dashboards, integrating the digital dashboards, especially for the decision makers, makes a lot of sense, especially AI related environment. So I request Mr. Vijay Kumar to basically outline the thing how he wants to present, and then probably after 1 hour session, they will allow you to ask questions, Q&A. I welcome you all onto this very important webinar. Once again, I thank you everybody. Thank you. Please go ahead, sir.
Thanks, Rajgaru, and it's a privilege. It's a privilege for DigiDex to get associated with IPQC. As you mentioned, yes, we have conducted previously one seminar on quantitative business process modeling. Now we want to talk about dashboards and really, inject the true perception of dashboards into companies And at the same time, what we would like to do is to eliminate the myth surrounding around dashboards. Before we really get into the topic of the day today, I'm talking to you from US, and it's almost like 11:45 now, 11:45 p.m. So absolutely no problem. I can go on and on. So 1 hour we'll have this session. After that, we'll take this half an hour QA session. So most important is I request all of you to
Yeah, it's
ask me
like
questions in
midnight, almost
between
midnight.
also, if required. But I want you all to go back after this webinar with a total perception and understanding of what is a dashboard actually means and what it can do. There's nothing it can't do actually, it can do everything. But again, what is that I require? So before we get into the topic, let me introduce Digidex Information Systems Private Limited very, very quickly. Rajgar has given an introduction. We are headquartered in Pune with offices in Hyderabad and Bangalore. We are also making inroads into Middle East and into US. We're almost close to 50 very high quality data scientists, data engineers, and domain consultants. We have our own assets in the form of some good POCs, and we are in the process of converting these POCs into real viable solutions. Our entire team, most of them are really backed up with very, very good domain. And that's the key in actually enabling data as a true asset in companies. So with this, what I do is I will get into the topic, and let me share a small
What
deck with
basically?
you. Okay. Yeah. So what we do is we'll go pretty slowly. Here, what we are trying to do is we are not trying to really look into exactly a industry vertical or a company or even a role based. Actually, role based means, you know, a CEO or a COO or a CFO or a CMO. What is that he needs to see and all. We'll be definitely touching upon it because it depends from company to company, industry vertical to industry vertical. Let us get a very, very good, as I'm already using this word third time, a decent understanding of conceptual in nature about dashboards. Let me tell you with my practical experience, with 39 years of experience, last 5-6 years into data sciences and analytics, having met a lot of prospects and converted some of them into our clients all over the globe. Last 6 years, particularly in big data, data sciences and analytics, digital transformation area, there are two words that are being talked very frequently, very, very frequently. And these two words are the most misunderstood, or not much of clarity is there, both in IT services companies. I'm not talking about product companies, both in IT services companies as well as in the end companies. The first word is digital transformation, pretty loosely used word actually. Everywhere we say, you know, digital, digitalization, transformation, digital transformation, without really getting the essence of actually what is meant by digital transformation. And the other word, what we are seeing is dashboards. So everywhere, you know, very, very, you know, yeah, a drop of the hat actually, you know, we are using the word called dashboard. But what is dashboard? How we define a dashboard, and how dashboard can be a real a weapon in your armory. So that's why I just put few points before this webinar. We'll be sending these two presentations to you. I have two decks. This is having almost like 30 slides, and the other one is having 67 slides. Obviously, it is impossible to cover, but definitely we'll be sending these decks to you, and we can always you can always reach out to us at any point of time. What I try and do is I'll try and focus on the first 5-6 slides and tell you exactly what is meant by a dashboard and how we should go and construct a dashboard. Actually, okay. Yeah, most important thing is decision making. Okay, knowingly, unknowingly, formally, informally, um, what we do as leaders, we are all indulged in making decisions. You know, sometimes we don't even know that we are making a decision, but we are making decisions. And the most important thing is the quality of decision making. So that truly determines the course of direction. So if the quality of the decision making is good, the quality of the decision actually is good, then I'm on a growth path. Otherwise, definitely there is ever possibility that I'm faltering and I'm unnecessarily landing into no man's zone. Okay, I'm not finding any purpose in what I'm doing. So quality. So there is no real need to emphasize on that point. We'll straight away jump into the third point. So what is happening is your processes all across your business chain, your procure to pay, order to cash, replenishment to deployment, hire to retire, record to reporting. We can go on and on actually. As Digidex, we have defined 21 business processes and we take them to scenarios, then scenarios into activities, activities into tasks actually. So the business process, the functional areas. Okay, what is a functional area within a business process? Is within procure to pay. So I'm having my supplier relationship. I'm having my procurement area, my procurement strategy, my procurement planning and procurement operations, or my supply chain, my inventories, my inbound logistics, so on and so forth. So the business process, the functional areas, and of course KPIs, the key performance areas from these business process and functional areas, and the corresponding KPIs, the key performance indicators. What is happening now with plenty of data that is available and the revolution that is really taking place around data in the form of digital transformation or in the form of decision digitization, obviously using artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. Let's not bother too much about the technologies because assume that technology is always there and how I'm going to tame the technology to benefit maximum from a business perspective. That's where we are going to concentrate today. So the way actually the business processes are handled from a business process re-engineering to business process management to now we are at a stage of business process modeling. Similarly, with respect to the KPIs from a computation, okay, what is that we are doing till now is, if you see this point actually, MIS reports, they are old words. In 1960s, in 70s, people used to have this MIS concept, MIS departments, management information systems actually, then reports. So what is happening with plenty of data that is available, our ability to ingest data, as Rajgaru told in the beginning, online, real time, as transactions are happening, as I am selling, as I am procuring, as I am producing, as I am recruiting, as I am actually, spending on capital projects, spending on any aspect. So as the transactions are happening, the transaction processing systems are there. Similarly, for plant, we have the distributed control systems in the form of process control systems. We have the manufacturing execution systems. While they take care of all the transactions, the data that is getting generated there, how well we are able to actually capture online on a real-time basis, and of course do what we'll see as we go along. So our ability to capture the data on a real time, our ability to convert the data into real information and information into interpretation. Okay, I'm able to interpret this information and convert that interpretation into action items. So what is meant by an action item is actions filled with actionable intelligence embedded action items. But I always give this example. We have some bija aksharas. There are some letters which we call them as bija aksharas. So there is so much of power inside those letters, and they really explode actually, explode, and they emit plenty of radiance. They do plenty of good actually to the humankind. Similarly, when you are talking about action items, when there is plenty of actionable intelligence is embedded in those action items, yeah, what sort of light they can radiate on company's performance, we'll see. So the first slide very much talks about basically, yes, we are now in an era of dashboards. Then what is meant by a dashboard? We'll see this actually. Okay, a dashboard, is it a report? Yes, it is a report. What is report? I need not say. Again, please go back to the previous slide, and you can talk about procurement, production, or finance, or HR. You can pick any function, or alternatively, you can talk from a role based CEO, COO, CFO, etc. Or you look from other dimension. These are all called dimensions actually. The other dimension is strategic, tactical, and operational. Okay. So from a CEO perspective, what is strategic, what is tactical, what is operational, what is that you would like to see, where you would like to see, in production, what you would like to see, in procurement, what you would like to see. Yes, till yesterday, what happened actually? When it comes to office in the morning, we're all used to reports. Yes, a dashboard is a report. Alert. What is alert actually? If any anomaly we detect, if anything unusual that is happening, the sale is high, the sale is low, or the shipment that was supposed to be received by us yesterday hasn't come to us. So there is a red flag actually, alert. Then monitor. How I am monitoring actually? I'm monitoring my targets in the form of sales targets or production targets, or we're all familiar with the backend ERP systems. So we are talking about, say, the budgets. Okay, then we have the cost centers. So there are n number of ways of monitoring. Let us say, for example, we club all of them under various KPIs. So there is a value for the KPI and how much I've achieved till date. Actually, that is monitored. Then I'm talking about what if actually. What if there's a cancellation of demand? A little bit, not too much. So a dashboard is a report. A dashboard is an alert. A dashboard is a monitor. A dashboard also does what if. Plus on the top of it, what dashboard would do. From here onwards, actually, you see our way of developing dashboards and presenting it to you in the most sophisticated manner. So a dashboard also would do prediction. Okay. So you can ask me what is meant by prediction. I'll give a simple example. Now you just see a typical report. You take a particular product, the product sales target, both in terms of quantity and value. Okay. We have the sales target, and then we have the actual sales till yesterday. What I sold yesterday, what I sold in this week, then what was the cumulative sale in the month, and what is the cumulative sale till this date in the year. We call it as YTD. Okay, so we have these numbers, and okay, our target is some 500, and we have achieved some 300. Let us assume that our financial year is Jan to December. We are already on October 23rd there in India. Okay. So we have another few months to go. What I would have achieved by this time, probably I'm falling short. I've achieved only 65%, let us assume. And this is a scenario what a report is giving. So that's why a report is actually telling us what happened till yesterday, till date. That's why we call it as postmortem or reactive. It is telling me. And then what I can do at this point of time is there is nothing I could go and correct what happened yesterday. But with the dashboard, what power I'm actually injecting into the company is the ability to predict in a dashboard. Yes, I have done 65% till date. Now, based on my past sales and based on the future likely scenarios, what is that I can do in the balance to end of months? And if I really want to achieve my target, what is the prescription I require. That is what data sciences and analytics would provide. So we'll be getting into predictive modeling. So imagine a situation where the board members are there, the board members, before them there is a beautiful screen. That is what we call them as a digital boardroom. You're seeing that in this slide itself, that point. So they have seen what happened till yesterday. Now they need to really fix this problem. They are way behind the target, or they want to achieve, say, even if they are going quite okay with the target, they want to achieve 120% of the target, say, for example, or they want to maximize the sale. They are actually getting into a predictive modeling, getting a likely number, what is that they are going to do in the balance 2.5 months. And then if they want to achieve a specific number, what is that they want to do? Is it that they have to really play with the price or discounts or the quality of the product or the type of markets they need to look at, so on and so forth. So now what is happening is a dashboard is assuming, it is telling you what happened till yesterday, but it is also assuming the power of predicting and directing you. It is directing actually the top management. Similarly, I'm just talking about sales, or I'm talking about a CEO. Any role if you take, same goes. That particular KPI or that particular functional area, the performances they really would like to monitor, so they can predict and they can simulate. They can simulate plenty of environments now. Okay, if I increase the price, what happens? If I decrease the price, what happens? If there is a delay in receiving the raw material, what happens? So on and so forth. My predictive maintenance is saying that whole of November, there is ever likelihood that my plant would function only at 50% capacity because some of the units are likely to go for some sort of breakdown failures. So under those circumstances, when my production is coming down, what is that I need to do? So I'm under pressure to meet the targets actually, but my production may likely to come down. So then what is that I need to do? Can I just go and import the finished product? If I go and import the finished product, what sort of impact it would have on my net profit margin? So whatever you are doing is in a 2 hours meeting, you are able to simulate various environments and you are looking at various possibilities, umpteen number of possibilities, so that you are able to take an appropriate decision based on, of course, our ability to withstand the consequences. I'm sure you all must be understanding this. My only idea to say that a dashboard is not just an aggregation. When I say report is an aggregation. I'm just aggregating the aspects of that particular KPI till yesterday. But whatever I'm doing now is I'm able to actually predict it. I'm simulating it, and then I'm giving a lot of recommendations. So, okay, these are the recommendations. This is what you need to do. You need to increase the price, or you need to actually enforce the salespeople in this particular geography, or you need to give more discounts on this particular product, or you have to increase the production of a particular product and reduce the production of another product, so on and so forth. Plenty of recommendations it is giving. On what basis it is giving the recommendations is based on the prediction and simulation. On what basis we are predicting? We are not just predicting based on some sort of hindsight. So why I'm using this word hindsight is, suppose assuming a scenario where the whole world is believing that a dashboard is a report and the botheration is on colors actually, on visualization, how graphically it is appealing to me. That's not the case. We don't belong to that category of IT product and services company. For us, the content and business value is the most important thing. Of course, visualization is important, but what is that you are trying to infer from the report? Nothing much, Yeah, you're just doing a postmortem and you're trying to fix some responsibilities, why this happened, all the stuff. That is not going to lead anywhere actually. Any postmortem is not going to lead anywhere. So you need to get into a situation of, salvaging it. What is that I need to do? So you predict it, you simulate it. So you are getting a lot of recommendations. Same, it can be with any area. It can be with respect to your procurement or your inbound logistics, or with respect to your production. okay, your outbound logistics, any area in the business chain you take. That's why I told functional area. Again, just quickly going back, we're talking about functional areas. We are talking about role based actually, and we are also talking at different levels. The shop floor manager, the KPIs he monitors, the botherations he has are altogether different from the botherations a CEO has or a COO has. Okay. So at all levels, strategic, tactical, and operational. So they are getting recommendations. And then what happens with the dashboard? Our dashboard actually, maybe we'll have another session where we will make and show our interactive dashboards. At this point of time, I really want to drive home very, very strongly the point that if you actually, have a perception that dashboard is nothing but a report, I'm just using, instead of calling it as a report yesterday, I'm calling it as a dashboard today. My sincere request is please, come out of that and see it as an aggregation plus prediction plus simulation plus the recommendations and integrating the recommendations with the backend systems. Whatever I'm saying, okay. So board has decided, fine, we need to really increase our sales. If I have to increase the sales in a particular geography, the only option for me is to reduce my price by 10%. I've taken the decision and automatically through dashboard, say for example, if I'm using SAP as a transaction processing system, I'm able to communicate to SAP pricing procedure to that particular condition type and condition record to decrease the price by 10% and automatically the value gets reduced. And from then onwards, whatever invoicing you are making, automatically it would go with the new rate. So that is the power of a dashboard. That means if you go back to the previous slide, I just made one point. If you see, I just come back to the previous slide. Why I come to this slide is basically to talk about this convergence. What is happening now in the companies? So I'm here in US. We are talking to a lot of companies. We are establishing ourselves pretty strongly in US markets also. So what I'm seeing is the same thing here also. Dashboards as convergence. So everything is getting converged into a dashboard. I'm having a predictive maintenance, predictive models. So the output of my predictive model is getting into a dashboard. I'm having demand forecasting. I'm having, say, for example, factory scheduling optimization. So the output of my factory scheduling optimization is converging into my dashboard. And how I'm able to combine all those things, that's a different thing that we'll see later. So convergence is what I want to say. So that's why we are calling this as a digital boardroom is now, if you have proper dashboards, that means we need to do obviously a lot of work actually. The role-based, the KPIs, the corresponding KPIs, what is that you would like to see, what are strategic in nature, what are tactical in nature, what are operational in nature. Again, we go with some sort of, authorizations, the privileges, so on and so forth, so that, somebody is not actually accessing what a board should know and vice versa. So with all those in place, what is happening now is this dashboard, when you are able to flash it on your screen with the beautiful visualization, it is becoming a sort of boardroom actually. What we do, we take decisions in the boardroom. Till now, on what basis we are taking the decisions? Based on reports. Still, most of the companies we use that word called MIS or report for everything. I implemented SAP in so many companies all across the globe till 2013-14. Everybody wants a report, particularly top management, senior management, middle management. They are really fancied with reports. So what they are doing is, in fact, our experience is different. 90% of the reports what you develop, nobody would like to see also. Again, other problem with Indian bureaucracy is they want all in print. Nobody would like to see it online actually. So we print it, a lot of wastage actually, they don't see anything. most important is they really don't take any actions. So all of a sudden, with the true understanding of dashboard, and of course, the backend technology is artificial intelligence, machine learning. We're talking about deep learning, neural networks. We're talking about robotic process automation. Again, for all that, the backbone is data. The data I'm generating, the data I'm able to access from various sources. So plenty of antecedents. I'm able to combine the antecedents with anticipations, and not only benefiting across my business chain by way of injecting real optimization, prediction, predictive modeling. I'm also able to elevate my reports into dashboards and able to convert the dashboards into a virtual digital boardroom. That is where we are now. That is where really things are happening. So it's becoming an action board actually. Okay, so any questions from anybody till date, or is this too straightforward? Since Raju Gondala told me that we have a lot of people from, of course, yeah, on a Saturday morning at 10 a.m. I can imagine, we don't have the great participation. That's not a problem at all. Whoever has attended, 8-9 people from different companies. If you have any questions at this point of time, definitely, I'll be very, very happy to take those questions. Otherwise, we can get into the next slide. Okay. So, in fact, if you understood the first two slides, the rest of them, they become more or less like, an extension to whatever I stated. Okay. Monitor business performance with real-time insights and insights in one place. Okay. Again, I told everything in one place. So your dashboard, a CEO dashboard, the CEO is in charge of everything. You can't say that, is only taking care of a particular function. So the granularity plays also very important. Sometimes I would like to go down into my sales numbers, not just looking them at aggregates, or some days I look at aggregates, the sales numbers, but I would like to go deep into my production numbers. Other thing is accounts receivables and accounts payables. In fact, last year, same time when I was in US, I had a pretty decent project to one customer. We are given a very good dashboard, and it has helped them. We all know what is a NPA. NPA is basically a banking term, non-performing asset, wherein we are not able to recover the EMIs on time. And if a stipulated period exceeds, then we call that asset as an NPA. Similarly, accounts receivables for a typical manufacturing company, a buy, make, sell company, they need to have good control over their accounts receivables. So at what time they can expect the cash to come into the system. Okay, you have given different payment terms. You have given some different credit terms to the customers. You have dispatched the product based on all this. Actually, on this date, this is the amount I'm supposed to receive. You plan for it because you need to pay to your suppliers and you have all other expenses. But if there is a delay in your accounts payables, accounts receivables, that is going to impact. Then you need to resort to short-term borrowings. That would have interest. So what we did is all this we brought into a dashboard, started predicting the accounts receivables, and with those predictions, we are able to recommend. When I say recommendation, why I'm giving this example is just to tell you or illustrate with one example so that you would be able to really extrapolate it to all the areas of business. So with that, what they have done is they have changed or they have modified the payment terms and credit terms of some of the customers. So we are able to predict some of these customers who are defaulters, for whatever reasons. We are able to identify them, and they have changed the payment terms and they have made them as cash customers. So what I'm saying is your ability to predict based on past and able to really inject those predictions into your current business. That is what is meant by a smartness. So smartness means being good today, being smart today, not good enough to say that I was good yesterday or I'm going to be good tomorrow. Are you good today? No, you need to be pretty smart today. A smart factory as an intelligent enterprise, so on and so forth. All of them, they are coming from this back-end strong AI/ML algorithms, real-time data that is flowing in, and our ability to really channelize this data. Again, a dashboard is basically what, it is truly channelizing the data. I'm generating plenty of data. Okay. So what data I need to really channelize? For that, I need to understand what sort of KPIs I need to monitor. It's not that if there are 100 KPIs, I'm going to, KPI means basically a metrics. So a metrics driven organization, a metrics, when I say metrics or a KPI, it has a measurement. So if it has a measurement means it has to be measured. It has to be measured against what? And if I just measure it and leave it, is it good enough to say that, yeah, I was doing like this, today you're saying till yesterday I've done like this, and tomorrow you can say till yesterday I've done like this, it would go on like that. So how you are going to really take control? So that's why here we are talking about your business performance. You are no longer monitoring a KPI, you are monitoring your business performance with real-time insights. So what are those insights? From where you are getting those insights? You are getting those insights by way of actually providing plenty of optimization and prediction, by way of this prediction and simulation. I gave several examples already. What are those insights? If I increase the price, what happens? Till what point of increase, or till what percentage of increase in the price I'm able to ensure sales growth? From what point of time the sales will start actually stabilizing and start falling? So that means I know, as a company, since I'm enjoying a good brand value, and why my brand value is coming is because I'm consistently delivering quality products. I have a potential to increase my price by another 10%. So I can go up to 10%. How I am knowing it? I'm actually knowing it through a simulated environment. So it's a different subject altogether. We'll talk about it as we go along in the next webinars. A digital twin. What is meant by a digital twin is how I'm cloning a real plant environment. I'm cloning a plant actually, and I'm sensitizing the plant with all sorts of scenarios and understanding the behavior. So that tomorrow when the situation happens, I'm ready. So same thing is happening with a dashboard. What I'm saying is a dashboard also can be really called, we can call it as a boardroom, digital boardroom, or an action board, or an aggregation plus prediction plus simulation, or you can call it as, yeah, not exactly a digital twin type, but a real simulator, or a great extension to the what if scenario analysis we were all used to under BI. In fact, I am in BI space right from 99 onwards, SAP BI space for so many years. So now we are knowing, from 2015 onwards when I got into this data sciences and analytics. So what were the limitations of BI, what it can do and what it can't do, and how can we really circumvent what it can't do is with data sciences and analytics. And what most important is what it means to business. Everything is business centric here. I'm sure, all the companies who are attending must have read all these 4 bullets. We'll go to the next major. Act in the moment. So make smart decisions. Okay. So you need to really act in the moment. What is act in the moment is you're preempting, not you're trying to do postmortem and trying to fix that. That's what happens actually, in most of the government organizations we see, the event happens and the next day all of them, they gather and they try and fix the responsibility on someone else. Because of you this happened, because of you that happened, and all. No, now what we are doing is we are gathering all the information and we are able to actually take stock of what went right, what went wrong. Based on these things, what is likely to happen. So instead of thinking that after the financial year is over, oh, had I actually reduced my price, probably I would have achieved the target. So instead of doing that in 2022, Jan or Feb, what you are doing is you are doing that right on October 22nd, when your prediction says that if you want to really achieve a target, if you want to increase the sales, this is what you need to do. It is giving me that insight. So I'm able to act in the moment. Okay. Then make collaborative decisions. Here, what collaboration is not, X is talking to Y is talking to G, what X says Y won't like, what Y says G won't like. And typically in boardroom, it's all ego and, whatever I told has to prevail. There won't be any real collective wisdom. What is collaborative is I'm collaborating my sales function with my production and with my procurement and with my machine availability. Because I'm seeing it in the dashboard. When I'm predicting with all relevant influencing parameters. I'm not just predicting with, only parameters that are responsible for direct sales, because my sales is impacted by my production. My production is impacted by my machine availability. My production is actually impacted my raw material availability, and that is impacted by vendor performance or risk assessment. So now what is happening is, that is what we call it as a process modeling. So you're not seeing process in isolation now. You're not seeing process in isolation. Again, you're not just actually trying to do an intra-process elaboration. That is function, The procurement guy, as long as his things are happening quite good, he is happy. The production guy, as long as he's producing, he is happy. What he is producing, for whom he is producing, is he really taking stock of what market needs? Is he able to accordingly, dynamically change his schedules, production schedules? No. But now, that's why I told in the beginning itself, the whole world is actually getting revolutionized based on the data that is available, and based on the data that is available as raw material to us, and the process on this raw material. The process is by way of actually subjecting this data to the appropriate ensembled algorithms. We are able to take collaborative decisions. Okay, so this is act in the moment. Then these are intelligent meetings. Again, when I'm saying they're all, I'm talking from a digital boardroom perspective. We are actually digital. We are sitting there as human beings. That's it, The CEO, COO, CFO, they're all sitting. What they have before them is a dashboard on a beautiful screen, on a lovely LED, okay, with a beautiful visualization. And I'm able to instruct my dashboard screen with my Alexa or Google or Siri or whatever it is. I'm no longer using my hands also. I'm not even going to the screen and trying to do the granularities. I'm not even touching it also. My instructions are going from my Alexa, and I'm going down to the granularities. I'm predicting what I need to predict. Okay, I'm looking into optimized scenarios. So they're all becoming intelligent meetings. So there is collaboration now. There is intelligence also. I really can't watch before this in all the meetings. Now don't look at only a board meeting. Look at a shop floor where the manager and supervisors meet. Look at a sales room where the sales manager and sales guys, they meet. Okay. So look at a HR room where HR manager and his officers, they meet. So based on what they are taking decisions, based on past data with a report, and based on the power centers, the ego levels, etc., etc. So that's why, that's all intuition or experience, power based. Now with the dashboard, what is happening is everything, there are plenty of business use cases for AML. We are able to actually inject those use cases as appropriate and able to make them smart, make them, and optimize. Say I'm able to actually get supply chain optimization, I'm able to get predictive maintenance, so on and so forth. Now the output of all of them are coming in the form of dashboards to the appropriate persons, whereby they are able to course or steer the direction of the company. So that is what is dashboard. So why we have chosen this topic is basically to really inform all CEOs or the decision makers or the managers that here Decidex actually defines truly what is meant by a dashboard and how we can really leverage on these dashboards to improve our performances. What is meant by improving our performance is actually hitting the right directions. Okay. I've already talked a lot about this planning and simulation. Okay. So any questions actually? It's almost like now, probably close to 11 there, and okay, instant data driven insights. Okay, you have a dashboard constructed. It has taken data till yesterday, where the data is residing, how the incremental data is coming into that, what is a cloud environment, or what set of data repository systems I should have. Okay. In fact, to even begin with also, what is that I need to monitor on a daily basis or on a weekly basis or on a monthly basis? What are my important KPIs? So we have listed all these things here. Okay. So in fact, from here onwards, we will be sending this PPT along with other PPT also. So if you see this, I'm just going through. Okay. So these are all nitty-gritties. As I told, we can't really go by a KPIs. I'm defining this KPI as a CEO with respect to sales. You are looking at, what you have sold yesterday, what is the total sale, product wise, then area wise, then sales district wise. All that is specific to your company. But basically, what is that you need to do with all that information is to get into a state of really automating your decision making. When you are automating your decision making, the quality of that automated decision is by far the best, because it is taking all possible aspects into account based on what happened truly and what is likely to happen truly. Okay, that's a big statement actually, what is likely to happen truly. So that would take another 2-3 hours to explain how we can say it is likely to happen truly. Okay. So thereby eliminating that human bias, they are trying to steer the companies. Okay. So we are given here, this could be definitely useful to you. We are given some of the KPIs, so this is another good slide. So you identify the KPIs, fix a key KPI like NPM. NPM is net profit margin, sales revenue, number of customers, number of new customers, etc. That is extremely relevant to the business, and take it as a dependent variable to identify the impact on this KPI by the other KPIs. So like this. So how we should go about it? Okay. So what is a typical CEO dashboard consists of, with respect to customer, with respect to sales turnover, with respect to receivables, with respect to production, cost of production, with respect to process efficiencies. You take anything actually. So for example, the production cycle time. So normally the CEO, you would like to see this once in a while, and you would like to see the trend of this. Okay, my production cycle time. So obviously I would like to keep this under control. Okay. If I think it is 10 days, so as long as it is around 10, but all of a sudden there is an increase. Why? Why the cycle time has gone up? Okay? What are the machine idle time? So on and so forth. So I'm sure you all would appreciate this. So we have written so many KPIs here. What a CEO should have. Similarly, what a COO should have. Okay. So I'm not getting into these details. They all become absolutely relevant to a specific company based on their ground realities, where they are. So we come, we talk to everybody, we'll see, and we also take stock of your existing reports, all that stuff. And then fix actually, okay, yeah, these are the KPIs you need to constantly monitor. These are the KPIs with which we are going to build the dashboards. And those dashboards will be given. In fact, I will show you one more PPT very, very quickly. You will that we have done for a company actually. Let me. You're able to see my screen, correct? Sajeda, can you confirm that you are seeing this new screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
So this is what we are done actually. If you see this, I really can't go through each and every bullet in this PPT, but basically now we have understood. It's not that I've told anything new, but just I'm trying to emphasize, probably reaffirm your understanding that what is the power of a dashboard and why we should not really use a dashboard from a generic perspective. And the need of the hour for us is to elevate ourselves from reports to dashboards wherever required, we really. In the same way, when I talk about data sciences and analytics, when I talk about supply chain, everybody manages their supply chain. Supply chain management is different. Supply chain optimization is different. Very, very unfortunately, I come across with a lot of supply chain guys. I've done extensive stuff in supply chain for the past so many years. I started my career long back to supply chain in a pretty decent oil and gas company. So I've studied supply chain operations reference model extensively. Okay, management is different and modeling is different. Actually, the days of management are gone, totally gone. What is meant by management is you are actually managing it. You are managing it very, very superficially, and you are coming into the picture only when the damage is done. Now, in modeling, what happens is you are able to predict where the damage can happen, from which quarter the damage can happen, can occur. And you are able to, that is what we call it as risk. What is data sciences is doing? Data sciences is actually identifying bias and risk in the system. So you are able to identify that so that you are able to nip it in the bud. You are able to either totally eliminate it, or if you can't totally eliminate it, you are able to minimize the repercussions of that achievement. Okay. So that is the same way. Okay. Here also, supply chain optimization, predictive maintenance, demand forecasting, or a customer 360-degree experience, or a vendor performance or risk assessment, factory scheduling optimization. Like what we are doing in those areas using data sciences and analytics or using AI/ML algorithms. Similarly, in reports also, we are doing this. And when we are doing this, we should call them as dashboard. So the purpose of this webinar is to tell you all that, yes, dashboards are truly there for us as virtual boardroom members. And if I am able to really pass on my intelligence to them in a very intelligent way, I need to pass on my intelligence in a very intelligent way. Choose a company like Desidext. They come, understand everything, they model everything, they come out with a true model. That model actually gets trained over a period of time. So that is what is actually artificial intelligence. That means a board member with some efficiency, we are not saying that he is efficient or inefficient. That's not the point here. But no longer actually he is in a position to envisage so many scenarios and take a decision. So what is he doing is he's sitting before or with his virtual board members. That's why we call it as a digital boardroom, with his virtual board members. And those virtual board members have this artificial intelligence, and they are driving the course of action. So that is what, so probably, we will pass on this to you, this and that. So this will really give you a deep dive, absolute deep dive into a plant analytics. What I meant by a digital plant. Here we have used Azure. Okay, this is what we have done in last year to a company. Okay, fine. So very much actually, it's 12:35 here and 11:05 there. So Rajgaru,
Thank you, sir.
this is what we wanted to convey from a conceptual perspective.
Yeah. Okay, very nicely covered. It's a great presentation, and lot of things can be, used. Only one question from my side is, how fast a company can adopt, reach this level. Normal companies, if you see, many companies, maybe, if you see some Western companies or some companies like, digitized companies, they can easily adopt this. But if you see Indian, typical Indian manufacturing company, how fast they can go for this level, this type of automation, these dashboards, how much time frame it takes to set up this and monitor?
2 to 3 months.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
If they, what are the conditions? Is they need to have a ERP, the ERP, and what type of system you expect them to have?
Yeah, basically the transaction processing system has to be some sort of system driven.
Okay.
If it is manual, then getting the data would become difficult. As long as they are able to do their transactions, even for their dashboard, I'm not even advocating that they have to achieve prediction and optimization in their transaction processing areas. Even if they are not, whatever they are procuring, whatever they are producing, whatever they are selling, even they are suboptimal, we can actually create dashboards. Yeah. Because the actual transaction data would flow.
Can we? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So very nice. This is a great insight, and I appreciate your effort. Think they should use this, because there are a lot of levers they get, real time decision making, what if analysis, and there are many things. People still they need to be like and integrating with AI. AI is very, very important. That is not there in a typical ERP environment. Is a great effort, sir, and we really appreciate your time. And if anybody is having any questions, answers, our panel members can answer those questions. If anything is there, please ask. And also you can share your, any specific requirements. Definitely they will come back to you. Definitely we will connect to them. And this video is definitely is available online. Somebody asked a question, so will be available. Will be sharing with their permission. And any questions, audience can ask any question. It's like a fantastic thing. I can tell you, these are the things actually we need to explore. The real wealth is in the data now. Organizations need to really dive into the data and really mine the thing. It is a gold mine. Whatever using that, You need not be like, every time you need not calculate inventory with your formulas and all. You just automate it. Probably AI can help you. So using sophisticated AI tools and techniques, definitely this can be very useful for many, SMEs. Really, if they want to grow in a global scale, if they want to benchmark some of the best companies, and their decision making process need to be improved, and they need to be on real time, and they need to be very smart in making the decisions on the real time basis. So request members to ask any question. It is a forum is open for the question answers. Any question is there, you can raise. I can allow you to ask question. It's directly you can ask. I can allow you everybody who. Yes. Yeah. Any member want to ask any? Okay. So anything
Yeah.
specific thing like you can communicate to them so that they will write to you directly.
Yeah.
Can you
Sure,
just
sure.
share that?
Yeah. But we can even talk to all those guys who have registered. I think there are some 40 people, 40 companies registered. It's obvious that
That anyway, it is in a presentation.
most
If it
of
is
them
there,
are. Yeah.
it's like if you want to communicate email ID, please share that with the audience.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. Thanks everybody, and look forward to hear from you. Okay. Yeah. Fine. Rajgaru, can we conclude here?
Appreciate your knowledge, and dashboards very useful for the companies, and definitely we will take advantage.
Yeah, we really want to achieve one objective with this webinar is to really inject the true meaning of a dashboard in everybody. So when we call it as a digital boardroom, when we call it as intelligent, when we call it as collaboration.
Yeah.
So what it really means.
Yeah.
And probably the true meaning of artificial intelligence also gets reflected here.
Yeah. It's actually artificial intelligence is a driving force behind all this. See, real time, you can't, human being cannot optimize every time. It is only computers, AI can do that.
So your
taking advantage.
virtual board member who is sitting next to you in the form of a digital boardroom. So he is the one who is actually.
So there is a
demanding the
audio videos. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you. Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. So, please go ahead, sir. Anything you want to ask, please.
No, nothing. Is any question from anybody?
I think there is no questions, and nobody is asking any question. And if anybody is they can write. You can share your email ID, sir. If there's somebody wants to share, they can send it to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
From
you
our
so
side,
much.
Sai Charita is coordinating everything.
Yeah.
She will be there.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your commitment towards the dashboard, sir. You got a good knowledge on that. This is Dr. D.V. Ramana.
Thanks, Ramana. How are you doing?
Fine, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So it's great, sir. Can we close the meeting, or is there any specific thing you want to discuss?
Oops. No, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. You want to share anything, sir? Please.
No. I'm good actually. let's
Okay.
look forward.
Okay,
Okay.
I think it's late there already. So appreciate your time and appreciate your effort. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much
Thanks.
for
Yeah,
nice
thank you.
presentation.
Bye.
Thank you.